So Nick Chubb, last time the Browns were on the field in a game that mattered, it was in Arrowhead. Wasn't the result the Browns wanted, and Nick Chubb talked about that game and then moving forward to this year.
I just held on to the feeling of how I felt, and the team did the same thing after that game. We knew how we felt. We didn't want to experience it anymore. But overall, just a great learning experience for us, and we learned from it. That's the thing about the first game of the season. The first game, you don't have film or tape to see what they're going to do. So, we got to just go out there and stick to our rules, stick to our training, and just play our game.
And he mentions first game of the year. I think that's a huge advantage for the Browns defense. I don't think Andy Reid has any idea. We don't have any idea what the Browns defense is going to be this year under Joe Wood. And I think that is an advantage to the Browns defense against a really talented Kansas City offense.
I don't know if I agree with that just from the standpoint of they haven't played together. So what's better, that Andy Reid doesn't know what to expect, or that John Johnson III and Greg Newsome don't sort of know what to expect from each other, and Anthony Walker and Tommy Togiai don't know what to expect from each other. And I do think there will be a maturation process, a familiarity with this Browns defense that I don't know that it will match what we saw with the offense last year, because the offense, it was year one of the Stefanski scheme. It was COVID. It was Baker really trying to figure out, and we clearly saw sort of the dividing line for the offense last year. I don't think it'll be that stark for the defense, but I think it could be somewhat similar, where by the time we get to week 12, 14, 16, 17, we'll be like, oh, yeah. No, this defense, that's the defense. But I don't know that we'll see it right away. But listen, Dave, you could be right. There's something to the idea of you can't watch film on the Browns defense from last year and figure that out, because Joe Woods didn't have any toys last year. It was Miles does his thing. Let's see what happens. And there wasn't a lot else there. The possibilities of what Joe Woods could unleash, it's possible that you're right, that the unfamiliarity breaks more the Browns' way. But I'm still expecting this defense to be significantly better in the second half than in the first half of the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think there's a lot of athletic ability to overcome communication mistakes, and I think the ability to do some things that aren't expected of you defensively exists. But I get where you're coming from with the communication.